somebody might say, well, you just need to take a professional mindset and a professional attitude. And, you're going to have these ditches on either side and maybe things could go bad, but you just need to tough it up. Well, I say forget that. Let's put some bumpers up on your bowling alley and ensure that you knock down the pins. In other words, to ensure that you retire financially independent. Hey folks, Colin Richards here. I'm president and founder of Lord & Richards, and I'm thrilled to be with you on yet another exciting episode of the Lord & Richards Show. And today I'm going to continue my series on top questions answered, particularly for retirees. And the question I'm going to be addressing today is this simple question: how much risk should I take in retirement? How much risk should I take in retirement? And that's a very important question, and I'm glad people are asking that and providing us an opportunity to answer it today. And so as we dive into the subject, I want to start first of all with the fact that you need to determine your risk tolerance. You need to determine your risk tolerance. So if you're going to decide how much risk to take in the portfolio, you've got to determine how much you can take, okay? Because it does us no good if we design a beautiful portfolio and a wonderful plan so that you can retire financially independent without worry, but yet you're worrying throughout that financial independence process. So worry, anxiety, fear is going to be something we want to eliminate from your experience. And so when we conduct a simple review together, we call it a financial independence review, one of the early questions we're going to ask you is, how do you feel about risk and loss in your portfolio? And there is no right or wrong answer because that's how you feel. So whether you tell us on a pyramid that we provide you that you're at the top of that pyramid and want no risk and understand that the trade-off may be lower returns, or if you're near the bottom of our pyramid, as I call it, the pyramid of doom, and you are willing to take unlimited risk in exchange for much higher upside potential, wherever you are, that's a personal decision that you make and that you get the opportunity in a unique conversation with Lord & Richards to have. Because I'll tell you how most of these conversations go when you sit down with a typical broker or somebody who does not incorporate comprehensive financial planning into their services is what's going to happen is they're going to say, are you conservative, are you moderate, are you aggressive, or something in between those categories? And that's a very subjective question that will result in a very vague answer. And honestly, it makes it really easy as a broker to wiggle out of problems in the future if you have placed clients in an excessively risky portfolio. Alternatively, what we're going to do at Lord & Richards is we're going to sit down with you and have a very meaningful conversation. We're going to use real numbers from your portfolio. Well, how would you feel if you lost this much? If you lost this much? At what point would you desire to maybe turn things around and be in less risky assets? Because it's better to understand that from the beginning. Now, keep this in mind. As you get older, your risk tolerance may well change. You might decide in the future that you're not interested in much risk. Perhaps you're in a position where you're financially independent without needing to take risk. That's where we want you to be. We want you to be in a place where you're not feeling driven to take risk in order to just meet your needs in retirement. Or maybe you're just at a place where your anxiety level is too high when you get those statements and you see your investments going down. The problem is most people are not even getting to have an intelligent, emotionally driven conversation around this subject. And we are not robots, right? We're human beings. Now, there's often a recommended risk tolerance, and sometimes a broker will just sort of run over how you feel and say, this is what you need. And I talk to a lot of people like that in the financial services industry, and that's not what we're about at Lord & Richards. We understand that different combinations of investments and different levels of risk over the next 10, 20, or 30 years may result in better and higher returns. And we're going to share that with you. But we're not going to overrule and override how you feel. I often share the example that I have a daughter with Down syndrome. Just a delight. She actually makes the dough for the cookies at Lord and Richards. So if you've ever been to Lord and Richards, my sweet daughter makes that dough under the careful supervision of her mom, my wife, who is an outstanding chef. But when we go out and bowl, and we don't do that a lot, but usually if we do something like that, we'll put the bumpers off because of my daughter's disability, right? Because it's a little bit hard for her to control that ball and get the desired outcome that she's wanting. But with those bumpers, it kind of creates a cheat so that even if her ball's a little out of alignment, she's got 100% chance of knocking down some pins. And that's what we're there for, right? Well, in your retirement, somebody might say, well, you just need to take a professional mindset and a professional attitude. And, you're going to have these ditches on either side and maybe things could go bad, but you just need to tough it up. Well, I say forget that. Let's put some bumpers up on your bowling alley and ensure that you knock down the pins. In other words, to ensure that you retire financially independent. For us, financial independence at Lord & Richards is having the financial and emotional freedom to do what you love with the people that you love and the places that you want to go for all the reasons that are important to you and not have to work to pay for it. Back in 2008, I was talking to people who were so overwhelmed and literally emotionally shattered because of losses that they had experienced so deep, sometimes in excess of half their portfolio, that they were having to either put off retirement or go back to work. That is a horrible outcome. And as an advisor, we should never be putting people in that kind of position. And yet, here they were, scores and scores of people that I'm seeing, and I know millions across the country. They came out with a little joke, has your 401k become a 201k? But for those who had that happen, it was not funny, right? Because they may have put off their dream of retirement. Warren Buffett has a great expression. He says, never invest what you're not prepared to lose. And I think we all know that. If you're going to use risk assets in your portfolio, be prepared to lose those, right? But there are also some things that we need to understand. And in my next segment, I'm going to talk to you a little bit about some of the ways that people traditionally try to deal with risk in their portfolio, traditionally trying to deal with that. Old established principles that may be out of date. And you're going to want to catch me on this because I'm going to lead you through the things that you're being told by others that will solve the problem that in reality do not solve the problem of risk. The great thing is at Lord & Richards, we're solving this problem every single day for our clients. We come alongside you as a fiduciary. We come alongside of you with the desire to build a comprehensive plan so that you can retire financially independent without worry. And it just starts with a simple conversation.